are joined by an awesome guest today. We have Ryan Lacey of Gaelic Storm speaking with us today. So Ryan, before we get into anything else, Gaelic Storm actually holds the record for being the most consistent returning act in the Egyptian theater. So what does it mean to have that kind of history with the venue and this community?
I mean, it's pretty awesome because it's such a historic, well-known theater around the country, to be honest. I live in the Chicagoland area, so to be so close to it is pretty unique. You know what I mean? A lot of my family and my friends come out for it. And yeah, I love it. I love that spot. And I love the history of it. As you walk in, you're like, all right, some stuff has happened here. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely. So where'd you grow up?
I actually grew up in Bakersfield, California, but I moved to Chicago in 2006. Yeah.
Okay, so were you a Cubs fan? Were you a Sox fan, or none of the above?
To be honest, I was both. The first place we moved to was like Wrigleyville area. When I met my now wife, she was living there already, and I just kind of started crashing on her couch, and then eventually I got to move in. So, we were like, if you heard the crack of a bat I could hear it from my porch. So like I love going to those games, and now I love the White Sox as well. We do a lot of stuff with them as well. So
all right, I guess that's a fair answer to say you're a fan of both. I guess I'll accept that.
Well, I'm from California, so I got no dog in the fight here. So
a Dodgers fan then at heart?
I grew up a Dodger fan and an Angel fan. So really, I love everyone.
That's like the two opposite sides of the spectrum. Yeah. Dodgers and Angels at this point.
Right. I love everyone except for the Green Bay Packers. That's it.
Okay. You're definitely going to be accepted here then.
Yeah, there you go.
So after more than 20 years and 2,000 plus shows, what still gives you that adrenaline rush when you walk on stage?
What I love about it is the fact that like we are a pretty spontaneous group. So kind of anything can happen. Anything come out of Pat Murphy's mouth. He's our singer. It's great. I love that. And I love the band we're playing with now. Like throughout the years, the lineup changed, and the current group right now is just killer. It's so much fun to watch. So they're all great musicians and just fun to be around. And yeah, we got really lucky right now. So
that's awesome. So the band has been described as, quote, a Celtic juggernaut. What does that label mean to you?
Geez, it's kind of silly. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, like we kind of, in the most humbling of ways, we're a pretty powerful group when you get on stage, just because the musicianship. I do love Juggernaut as well, because it was a He-Man character, so you can't really go wrong with that. So.
Absolutely. So as a drummer, you're the heartbeat of the band. How would you describe the role of percussion in Celtic music compared to other genres?
You know what? The bodhrán plays a big part in Irish music, but what I do with Gaelic Storm is a little bit different. Actually, quite different. I go for more of a world music kind of feel. I play a lot of African and Brazilian and Cuban kind of drums, and I bring that influence in because I studied with a lot of great Cuban and African players, and so I kind of snuck in through the through the back door on that one, just because I play bodhrán, but primarily on stage I'm playing a lot of djembe, djumbex, Middle Eastern drum, But then I also play like a drum set feel as well, because that's the world I came from originally. So, I had some awesome teachers. I can't say enough about my teachers. So they set me up to go in the right direction. And I had no idea that I was going to be playing Irish music, to be honest. I moved over to Ireland when I was 19. Lived there for 4 years. And really? I played everything except for Irish music when I lived over there. A lot of singer-songwriters, and I played with a hip-hop band. I played with everybody. So,
wow.
Yeah.
It's so interesting how life works sometimes.
Right, yeah. Yeah, Irish music found me later, so it's good.
So Gaelic Storm is very unique in that they do a really good job of blending storytelling with high energy instrumentals. So how do you feel like you balance subtlety and the power when you're behind the kit?
Just leaning into the dynamics, if that makes sense. You don't want to. You can't really crash people over the head the entire time, which is but we do a fair amount of that. But again, the storytelling is the core of everything we do. Pat Murphy is our lead singer and our kind of our leader, and we kind of support everything we do is to support him, support his stories, unless we're doing like instrumentals, and that's the four of us. without Pat actually on stage. Pat leaves the stage for the instrumentals. But yeah, and that's a whole nother story because then you get to really kind of show off your musicianship, and it's pretty fun. And the melody players are insane. They're so good.
Absolutely. So do you feel like there's certain songs in the set list that are especially fun or challenging for you to play live?
Challenging. I mean, when it comes down to challenging, it just means like we're playing new stuff. So, because we've been doing a lot of the same stuff for years. But we try to mix in a fair amount of new songs, so people don't get bored and so we don't get bored, to be honest. So when it is challenging, it just means we're stretching and kind of trying to add something interesting to the show. That's always fun.
What is your favorite song to play though? There has to be one that comes up on that set list. You're like, all right, here we go. This is it. I'm so excited.
My favorite song to play is it's called Buzzards of Bourbon Street. It's a fun drum one. It's a bagpipes centric tune, but the drums it's one of my favorite ones to play. So
I know you kind of got into this a little bit, but with there just being so many shows that Gaelic Storm has done, how do you continue to make the performance feel fresh and not just mechanical?
Honestly, like I was saying with Pat being kind of a wild card, I'll walk on and I make the set list and we'll play half of what I wrote. And then Pat will just be like, "No, let's do this. He'll feel something on the moment, and we'll go with that. Every once in a while, it's been happening more and more. We'll bring somebody from the crowd up on stage to sing it. We had a lady. She was heckling us. We're like, "You get up on stage and sing," and she did, and she was awesome. She ended up singing like a Dolly Parton song. Our guitar player at the moment, his name is Parker Hastings. He's 25 years old and he's like a walking jukebox. So I played so many cover bands in my past that like I can pick up on stuff. So if anybody comes up and wants to do something interesting, the two of us can we can fake it.
That's so cool. I wish I had musical talent like that. All right, so your fans are famously loyal. Some families have been coming for decades. What does it mean to see multi-generational audiences at your shows?
I mean, it is awesome. That is like, but then, I take a step back and think, okay, well, that's Irish music, right? I mean, it's nice because it fades in, fades out, but it never goes down. Like last year, I mean, we'll be playing a pub, like not a pub. We don't do pubs really anymore. Well, we'll be playing a theater like the Egyptian. But then last year we went on tour with Zach Brown Band. We were on tour with them for a half the year. It really just kind of crosses every genre without trying. Yeah, like that's the nice thing. We've been playing this Gaelic Storm brand of music for so long that we stay true to what we do. We stay true to what the fans appreciated. I think it's like kismet. It happens. We just get lucky. We got lucky with the people that come to see Gaelic Storm.
Absolutely. I know we discussed a little bit before we started recording. This is going to be my first Gaelic Storm show. Meanwhile, my in-laws have been seeing you guys since the early days. So as a first-time concert goer of Gaelic Storm, what should I prepare myself for?
To be part of the show, to interact with us. We like that. We love the idea of like you guys being the sixth band member, kind of really just getting into it. Like we from word go, we want everybody to have a big old smile on their face, and I think that's the goal. So I think that's your job.
I'm ready.
Hopefully we make it happen. This tour is a little different. We're trying to. It's called a Night of PJ Murphy's. The concept. Because we were talking a few months ago, like 6 months ago, our manager's like, okay, well, what would make this tour different? He's like, if you could own any Irish pub, what would you call it? And Pat, our singer's son, his name is PJ. So he's like, I'd call it PJ Murphy's. He's like, all right, well, let's bring the pub feel into the theater atmosphere. So that's the concept. And the cover and the band, not the cover, the band that's opening for us is phenomenal. I don't know if have you heard about them at all, or
I have.
JigJam is phenomenal. You'll love it.
That was actually what I was going to ask you at some point. So with JigJam joining you, what do you feel like makes them the best fit to be paired up with you guys?
I really like the juxtaposition between the two styles of music, to be honest. Because they're all from County Offaly in Ireland, but they're playing bluegrass.
Oh, cool.
They're playing bluegrass with the Irish it's a hint of Irish here and there. They'll do like a traditional Irish songs, but in a bluegrass fashion. I love the way they approach music. I love the energy they bring as well. It's not, they're not shoegazing. They're playing to interact. They use a lot of the same elements as we do. And then, we're going to end up doing 4 songs together during the show as well. So, cool. So it's going to be a blast. I'm excited.
That's awesome. What do you think it is about Gaelic Storm that keeps making fans come back year after year after year to see you?
I'm going to keep on harping on this. I think it's the ability to be unique for every show. We're never phoning it in. So we're alive and present for every show. So.
Do you feel like the crowd energy has changed over the years, or is it just the same joyful chaos every single time?
It ebbs and flows, to be honest. Like sometimes you feel like people are chilled out. For the most part, it's the same energy. It doesn't depend. It's non-dependent on like age or where, what town we're in. It's an overall feeling of joy, both from the band and the audience. Hopefully, I don't really see much of a difference, to be honest. So
does it also depend on how much alcohol is involved?
It used to. It's a little different now for us. Yeah. We used to be partying a lot harder, but now we're still partying, but in our 40s and 50s. So, well, except for our guitar player is 25. He actually parties less than I do. So
we're actually kind of shifting in that direction. So with Natalia on fiddle and now Parker on guitar joining in the recent years, how do you feel like the band dynamic has overall evolved?
Well, it was a big shift when Steve Twigger wasn't able to tour anymore with us. It was a big hit to us because he was such an integral part of the band that it really shifted everything. So now I took a lot of the more responsibilities of like making the set list, doing the day-to-day stuff, and Pat stayed strong doing his stuff. So we kind of head up the band, but the rest of the guys really hold up their end of the bargain as well. So I think the evolution has been fantastic. Like I said, the players we have are awesome. You're gonna love it.
So what does it feel like when you're adding a new member? Do you feel like it's starting a new chapter creatively, or do you kind of feel like because you guys are just so close, adding in a couple new members, you don't miss a beat?
That's one of the challenging things. It's like you're married to somebody, then you got to switch it up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, then you're instantly married. You're like instantly married to somebody new that you didn't know before. You learn all their intricacies and weirdness and every one of the musicians I played with has in Gaelic Storm has been phenomenal. But everybody's been, they all have their weird quirks, just like me.
So what does that interview process look like? Are you guys all just sitting there and shares like the voice? Are you doing this like AGT style? What does that interview process look like if you're adding a new member?
Geez, the last new member. Well, Parker was the last new member, but to be honest, we were in such a bind that we're like, we really hope this guy works. He's, she showed up. He's so young that we did a quick interview with him on Zoom. This was like coming out of COVID, and he showed up, and we're like, okay, where's your dad? And he's like, no, it's me. We're like, oh, okay, we're screwed. And it turned out to be great. And the last, and having Natalia come in, she interviewed actually at my house. We were doing rehearsals. I have a studio in my house. We were doing rehearsals there. We had 3 different fiddle players come up to the studio, and it was fun and weird. We had one of the girls from Celtic Women came up, and yeah, it was really interesting. And then Natalia just was like she was the right fit.
So you knew immediately that, hey, that's definitely our new fiddle player.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. So you're in the middle of a packed tour on schedule at this point. So what's life like on the road in 2026?
It's to be honest, it's a lot more relaxing these days. We have a great crew that takes care of us. It's a far cry from the Motel 6, setting up our own merchandise and driving ourselves world that we used to be in. So we got lucky. To be honest, we're it's like a cushy job. It's great. I get to do what I dreamt of doing when I was 12. I get to play music for a living, so I can't complain too much.
That's very cool. So after this many years, what's something about touring that still kind of surprises you?
Nothing, because everything is surprising. It all levels itself out, levels of surprise.
So kind of take us backstage a little bit. Do you guys have any rituals or routines you guys do before hitting the stage?
No, we are the opposite of like what you see on the movies. We are not getting together, like putting our hands in together, saying go team. We are not that team. Those guys. We had one tour manager that was trying to get us to do that. It all felt so forced. So we're like, nah, we're good. We're gonna chill here, then we're gonna go on stage, then we're gonna chill back here. That's awesome. If that makes sense. Yeah.
So if you had to describe Gaelic Storm's show in 3 words, what would they be?
Say fun, say raucous, and I'd say spontaneous.
I love it.
Yeah.
So after all these years, what does success look like to you now?
I know what we got going on. I got in my personal life, I got 2 awesome kids. Great wife. I love my job. I love being able to play music, like I said, for a living. And I get, again, this is success. We've seen the mountaintop when we were watching Zach Brown Band, and Irish music. We know the limits. So I think success, honestly, is like this. So
absolutely,
I feel pretty happy.
That's awesome.
I'm not going on The Voice trying to get a massive contract. I'm happy playing drums. So
if someone's on the fence about coming Thursday night to your show, what would you tell them? How are you convincing them?
I'd say don't be lame. Show up at the show. Get off your couch and come have some fun. Look forward to smiling and listening to a crazy Irish guy tell fun stories. And watch some badass musicians play some great, fun Irish music.
So what do you hope people walk away saying after the show?
I hope they walk away saying like that was fun. That was like we had a unique experience. That's what I hope.
All right. So can you remind everyone when and where they can catch this show and why they shouldn't miss it?
Yeah, we're playing the Egyptian Theater in DeKalb on March 12th. And don't be lame. Show up for the show.
All right, Ryan. Well, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for talking with us today.